a true edge and a false edge. Because that is does not have knuckle bone, it can be held either left hand or right hand. Because if you hold this left hand, the blade is at a different. See how the blade is different on each side? It's the same way with that sword. So are you right-handed or are you left-handed? Right-handed. So you take it in your right hand and go ahead and loop your one finger, your pointer finger, into one of those rings. There you go. Not all of that, just a little bit.
Kevin, you could
and you want your knuckles
to
be lined up with what would be called the true edge. This is the cutting edge or the true edge. You want your knuckles lined up with these. So you don't want it here, and your knuckles are not lined up. You also don't want it like this, because this just looks weird. And you have, so you have your cutting edge going with your knuckles. Yes, that's good. Very good. All right. Yeah, it's just a staff. You can hold it in a number of ways. If you will, sir. The way I think I'm going to predominantly have you wield this is like this, with the hands like so. Sometimes you can wield it like this. This is not uncommon. In fact, this is almost more common. But I'm going to have you flip the grip and hold it like this. All right, good. So go ahead and hold it like that. Beatrice, you are, and this says by the script, you are just wildly flinging your sword at him. I wonder, lack of ceiling room, if, nope, can't do it here. Never mind. Can you give me one of these? So I take your hand, so your sword up, raise above your head, make sure the blade stays flat, or else you're going to poke a hole in this lovely ceiling. And go ahead and rotate your wrist. Yep, and around. Yep.
Oh boy. Keep it a little bit more parallel to the floor, Edie.
Yes.
As opposed to the ceiling, and not that I don't think the ceiling would probably burst.
I just want to see how your wrist experience. If this isn't going to work in this ceiling, it'll be okay. But it would be really funny if when you start this, we see you. Please don't bonk yourself.
You can, when we get over to the stage, of course we'll have
Yeah, right. You'll be able to put this way above your head and helicopter it around as such. All right. This would just be to start with. Either that, or it would just be as simple as some sort of like, I wish I could put this straight up in the air, but I can't. Kind of, if this were straight up in the air, you'd be like, ah, and like charge at it, which is a lot easier than the thing. So it's just becomes, because Marion is the cool, calm, collected person. We need you to be the comic relief and just sort of start berating him with this. All right? So what's going to happen? This is going to get really tricky with the low C. But, Will, if you can stand to fight me over here, please. I'm going to break this down into left, right, and high. Left would be as if you were cutting his, throw up your arms right now, his shoulder right here. This would be your left, and it's by your trajectory. Then right would be as if you're cutting this shoulder, and it would be right about this level. And then high is just as if you're going to cleave him in twain with your sword, as if. You're not going to actually do this. Oh. So, without the staff, go ahead and put the staff down. Your first bit is going to be left. I'm going to cut him. And you want to make sure that you go outside of his body. You really don't want to actually cut into this poor person here. Okay. You're going to do what's called casting, meaning I'm going to extend my blade to a certain point and then send all of that energy past him instead of into him. So it's like I'm going to get to my point and then I'm going to stab something that is behind that point instead of carrying on all the way through him. And you can go ahead and look all fancy like I do because this is just right beautiful. But we're not worried about that for right now. I just want you to get the idea of attacking him. So this would be left. Then you're going to take this and like you did with the ceiling, rotate this around your head and cut right, same way. Past, once you get to a certain point, take up, and then go high. Be very careful with the ceiling. Very, very careful. And all of this stuff that we're doing today is going to be super, super, super slow. Super, super, super slow. So, if you would, and then I'll be you, and I want you to watch what I do with this staff, if you will. You can even kind of pantomime it.
So is the audience?
This will be the audience.
I would step forward with the trigger.
You would step forward with your hand-dominant foot. So if you are right-handed, let's actually talk about fight stance. That's a good idea. Fight stance would be is your sword is out in front of you. This is not as effective because you want the whole length of the sword in front of you. And you want to make sure that your hand dominant foot, I say that because some people are lefty, and if they're left-handed and I say right foot in front, they're standing like this. So you have to be hand dominant. So if you're right-handed, you want your right foot in front, you want your left foot in back, and you want to be as if you're facing this way. This is your opponent, you're facing this way. I want you to be like you're sitting on a horse. Imagine like you're sitting on a horse. Big old saddle.
Bend your knees a little, Evie.
And bend your knees. And then you want your toe to be facing that way. There you go. And get some bend in your knees.
And then your
More bend
left
in
toe
your-
face towards me and like that.
Yes.
There we go.
The more bend in your knees we got, the better. More that allows you to move. Bent knees allow you to move. If I have flat legs or straight legs, I can't move very well. So you need to make sure you got some bend in your knees. So that would mean collect your feet or put them a little bit closer together. And just put a little bit more bend in your knees. There you go. And then fight stance would just be straight up, hand neutral, not cutting left or right, just neutral. And you can put your fancy hand on your hip and look all cool. Very good. So this would be your fight stance. So then whenever I want you to, every attack will be a step. So when I say attack left, you will go. That is what we call an advance. Yes? Okay, let me see this. Because I need it. So go ahead and you want to go just outside of my body and then shoot past. So go ahead. Okay? Cool. Done. Okay? And in your interior dialogue, you go, oh darn, he blocked. Now what? So you do your helicopter bit and go to the other side. Good.
No, do you want to step again?
Yes. Step again. Good. And you want to actually, good. Then you want to go try to attack my head. But try not, but don't cut.
So,
Point. So it's like, so you're here, from here. You just want to bring this into you, tip straight up, and point. Okay? You want to make sure that it's that point that you're stabbing. It's way above my head. Please, do not make your target my head. That'd be nice. All right, so we're here. Bam, bam. Bam, good. Good. And you can actually make contact with my stick, because my stick's way outside of my body. All right, very good.
so during the attack, you can actually tap.
Yes, you can actually,
Whack it.
don't actually like try to chop the thing in half, but actually make contact with the staff so that you actually make it look like you were fighting. Because if the whole fight was just not making contact, then the audience would go, hey, something's up here. All right, so do that again, just as we move. Every move is a step. Good. I shouldn't have done that. Don't do what I just did there. Do that again. Remember the helicopter. Go ahead, do it. Good. And you want to make sure you're still cutting shoulder level. This staff will be, his hand will be way up above his head. So that will give you that target to attack for. And then attack his head again. Boom. Good. Great.
Woo.
Okay. Come in, sir. I need to grab this. Okay. So go ahead. Attack left. Good job. Okay. Okay. Now is that comfortable? Because you can make it easier than that. That's pretty good. Okay.
It looks good too.
The more motion you can have, the better. So if you can get this, that's great. All right, so do that again. Good. Good. Now you also want to be moving back on these. All right, as well. Because she's moving in on you. You don't want to just let this keep getting closer because eventually she's going to be like right here and it's going to get weird. So you want to make sure that you're moving back with every step as well. And then you guys want to make sure you're taking the same size steps, because if you're taking a bigger step than he is, you're going to start getting too close. Or if he's taking a bigger step than you are, then you're going to start getting farther away and you're going to start having to reach for it. All right. Good. Good. Ah, good. Good. Very good.
Okay.
All right. So from there, you're going to, what are you going to do? Give her a push. So go back to that last position if you will. And and I just want you to take this staff, look, and I want you to go. Good, and then let that be a throw that carries your blade, and you'll back off a step.
No, is it okay?
Yes.
Alright.
It'll go behind you. Good, yeah. Not disarm. It wasn't that much of a heave.
Oh.
it wasn't quite that strong. But just a separation of weapons is all we're going for. Alright, so do that last one again. Just throw up. Just good. And this will have a little bit, while you guys are doing this, Marion and Robin will do a little bit there. Then we have dialogue, which I believe is something to the extent of you should leave. What are you doing here?
Yeah, you will find a little though, Marion says, you will find a little though I may be, I still put some holes in your ragged coat, Beatrice, and also your skin, if it's not too thick. Then Robin, bold words for young experienced warriors, right, Will? And Will says, oh, we may have to run for our lives.
Okay.
And then that's when he disarms her. She bends over to pick up her sword and he whacks her on the rear. And she's like, oh, I'm undone, Marion. And that's when he starts chasing her around.
Okay. I have a slightly different vision in my head. Is this
Okay, that's fine.
So they have I still have the inappropriate butt whacking. But all it would be before the second phrase before she says, I am undone. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to do this, pardon me, Will, and your sword is over there. So, no, not on the ground, just go.
After that,
Yeah. Yep. And go ahead and let this foot carry over this way, as if that were the throw. Good. Then Robin says his bit, and you go, blah, blah, blah. Oh, like, oh, we should be scared, cowering in fear. Bam. And then you go, ah, you knave, or whatever. And then you'll do another short bit of combat that will end with you being undone.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And on this, what I want you to do, so that you don't hurt the poor girl, is on this, you're simply reaching and pulling in this way. So you're not going bam and trying to go through. You are making contact and pulling in. All right. So that she'll feel it, but not go ow. Okay. So line of if your skin's thick enough, bold words for such inexperienced fighters. Oh, we may be scouring fear. Smack. All right. So he's thrown you off. Yep. There you go. Blah blah blah. Tap. Ah! And you have to react to that, Beatrice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my leg! Alright. So blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I think your line right
Oh,
there is...
shameless thieving rogue?
Yes. Oh, you shameless thieving
Yes.
rogue.
Yes. No. You shameless. So, he's throwing you off. Blah, blah, line. Pack.
Oh, you shameless thieving rogue!
Good. Now, let's get him run. Slowly. Whoa! You got it. Okay?
Oh.
And then this is where then you will turn her, and you will go, I am undone!
There.
Okay. Alright? That is the whole, I am undone.
Okay, that makes more sense than if I just yell it in the middle of the, yeah.
Yes. So, to do this, sir, pardon me, do this again. Watch what happens, okay? So do your first cut, same as you always do.